Yep.
All right. Um, I guess, well, now that we're recording, you probably don't want to share, Andrea.
Yes,
I
no.
would like to, yeah, let me know on WhatsApp, or if there's something that, you want us the support of the group with. I mean, we're all here to support each other, right?
Yep.
So,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'll message you offline.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. There's a lot of these faces I haven't seen in like a very long time. Oh my gosh. Feels like these last 3 weeks have felt like 6 months for me. Dickens, you were on first. You're all dressed up nice. Good morning. Where are you off to?
I have a showing this morning, later today. So I already dress up for it, for one of my listing.
Yeah. Nice. How do you do you feel you look a little tired? Is that accurate?
Maybe. I don't know. I slept a bit late yesterday doing my weekly planning. I'm back at it. So even though I was past my bed my sleeping time, but I wanted to finish it. So yeah, it's a bit of lack
So,
of sleep, but
right. Lack of sleep. So is it worth it, you think, for you?
I think so.
Okay.
When I was into it, it was way better, and I want to go back in control. But I
Hmm.
say, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the way I express it. I want to back in control. That's mean I don't want to let things flow. I just want to, you know, plan my week and execute better.
Okay. All right. We're one of the things to talk about today, if it rose, was about season. So you're back into a season of maybe spring or summer, right? Moving into planning and executing yet again. Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to see your smiling face. I see Brandon
Thank you.
Cormier. Good morning, Brandon.
Hello, what's up, Nick?
What's going on? I see all the photos of all the updates here at the new house hack. Tell me what's going on with you, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I'm doing a ton of stuff on this place. I actually have a tenant moving out, so I have a turnover. I can change the rent from like 800 bucks to 13 something instead of giving them a huge rent increase. So that'll be nice.
Yeah,
And then I have the attic unit that's almost done. I just need to get a plumber in there and then do flooring. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
that's
It's going
amazing. How
well.
about
And I got Fitchburg rented out as well.
if Fishburne's rented as well? Oh my gosh, this guy's pouring in
Yeah.
cash. um, how about an up, down, and a win from you?
I guess that would be my win. Is that I got Fitchburg rented out and making a bunch of moves on the property.
Yeah.
Up, I've been powerlifting a ton, like doing like deadlifts and squats. And then my down is I don't really have it down, but I've kind of been slacking on running and stretching a bunch, but that's about it.
You're pivoting. You're pivoting to the powerlifting phase. Oh, cool, Brandon. I like that. Here's a question for you. Where in your body do you feel most powerful, like right now?
Once, um, actually, sorry, give me 1 second. I have something important to do for 1 minute, but
Oh, okay. All right. We can move on from him. Good morning. I see a lot of faces. I see a Jack Pinar. Jack, are you able to check in? Up, down, and a win from you, my friend?
Yeah. Okay. So up is I'm here.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm looking for a refocus. So this is part of my refocus. Um, don't really have a down. Things have been pretty decent. Um, a win. I am much like Dickens. I am back to making a schedule on Sundays
Hmm.
for pretty much the same reasons, where I find that a lot of things end up on my to-do list for a month and a half at a time because I just don't address them. So uh, back into the value, looking and seeing the value of the thought out planning and actually putting things on paper which I got away from, I now see has an infinite amount of value. So
Yeah.
that would be my win.
Oh, that's awesome, Jack. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about Flowkist, right? There's Focused and Flowkist today. Andrea, if you can keep making sure people are being accepted in, my clicker's having an issue. If you're there, Andrea, that would be great. If we're starting, as we start every single week, you guys, as we start every single week, I want you to think of a moment. Oh, okay. I guess my mouse is working again. Andrew, if you're there, if you can just keep track of the waiting room, please. That would be good. As we start every single week, let's think of something that gave us joy, gratitude, love, pride. What happened to you, with you, for you in the past week, past weekend, that got you to really feel that joy, that appreciation, that gratitude, that love? Where was that? Type that into the chat once you know what it is. The one thing, the biggest thing that happened for you. This is how we begin to raise our vibration for the week ahead. Really, really cool. And as we go through that, we've just had a talk. So Dickens and Jack are both going into more planning modes. So planning, like writing things down, going into our Sunday planning sessions, which we've never really talked about here. We've talked about it in all of our pod calls. Those of you who've been part of our Life Unlimited pods, we do a lot with weekly targeting, weekly planning, moving into our 5Fs and what it is that we want to be, do, or have at the end of a year, end of a quarter. And here's some of the grateful things. So Brandon had a huge get-together fire at my place for the first time, bunch of friends. I saw that fire pit out there, dude. I loved that fire pit. That was awesome. That was awesome. Party with old friends,
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Slapped it together for like $60. Got the ring on eBay for like 50.
Did you really? That was really cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Good one. Oh, my two sons connecting in so many grown-up ways over the new house. Oh, Christine. Oh, Christine, wait a second. That's right. You closed. Hold on. We need to check in here. I want to check in from you on the house, like up, down, and a win, Christine, if you don't mind sharing, even if it's just your voice. There she is. Oh no, I can't. I think your microphone, I'm having trouble hearing you. That's okay. Okay, if we can't do it, I would love a check-in from you in the chat, because that would be amazing. Christine had a huge life shift where I mean, I'll let her share if she wants to. So it was fantastic. I can't wait to hear about that. But a lot of moving energy. And we're here again in the, oh, she's coming back in. Let's see what we can do here. There she is. You want to try again, Christine? Let's have you, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Oh, no, we can't hear you. I'm sorry. It's good to see your face, though. That's amazing. Okay. So a lot of energy that's being moved is a big, big, big deal. And we just, Dickens and Brandon and Jack, well, Brandon is always kind of a beast with him planning out his week. But it's interesting how we can shift, right? So Dickens, you went, was it pretty much most of the summer without kind of really being that focused moment, or you're going into it again now, or when's the last time you did this?
I think it's most of the summer. You know, things get down little by little. I tried to go back at it a few weeks ago, but it's different now. There's so many things going at me right. Get it plain. So the little, what we call the little thing, you know, just don't get you know, into the crack.
So many things being gifted to you right now, right? Just changing, just a word change. Yeah. Yes. So many things being gifted to you, and you get to choose which opportunities that you choose and which ones you decide to bypass. Saying yes to some means saying no to others, right?
Agree. Yes.
Yeah. Very, very, very nice. Okay. Michelle, read your chat. I feel that energy being moved. Michelle has been working with her mom, as she said, in dementia care for a very long time. It sounds like you finally were able to get her moved into a place that can properly care for her. Michelle, I feel that relief.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. It's huge.
wow.
It's huge off my head, off my heart, you know.
Oh my
So
God.
thank you.
Yeah. How about an up, down, and a win from you?
Well, that was the huge up. Is I was able. It was such a different process. It would be. I'll try to. I'll try to curtail it. Let's just say that being a self-proclaimed control freak, it was hard for me to, relinquish control. I found two amazing places for her that were sabotaged, if that makes sense. Because with aggravated dementia, I can't, it's like trying to protect a child from themselves, right? So I can't prevent her from being who she is, and so she got declined from two seemingly awesome financial opportunities that would have been great for her, but also great for me. And I was so angry about it for like a month. So anyway, this place was so effortless and compassionate and empathetic. And I've never seen this kind of understanding. So the self-proclaimed, control freak was able to step back and say, that's because she wasn't supposed to be at those other places. This is where she's supposed to be. And that's why everything from start to finish literally was so refreshingly easy. It was unbelievable. Completely different experience.
Yeah. Wow, Michelle. Unbelievable. How about up, down, and a win? That was the big one.
Yeah. That's a great question. So the down was choosing Friday afternoon to do it at the end of the week with Halloween and Salem and Topsfield Fair. So it was a shit show from start to finish moving in. But I was glad on Saturday morning. So that's the down. I don't know. And the win is isn't that terrible? I can't even really identify a clear win. I feel like I can now focus on myself.
I was going to ask you the question. What's possible for you now? What opens up for you now, Michelle?
Everything opens up because it's not unnecessarily weighing on my mind, controlling me 24/7, wondering where I can put her. Because I went from costing me $200 a night to $600 a night to have 24-hour care because she started wandering out of the building during the day. So that was plaguing me 24/7, was protecting her. So now she's completely safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and actually, you know what? A win. Actually, I have a win. Let me correct myself. I'm actually pretty good at this memory care thing. So picture walking into a room if you have dementia and you have no idea where you're going and everything looks like white doors and it's all confusing and you've never been there before. So I get epiphanies all the time and downloads. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get one of those bathroom signs, like the restroom stickers, and it says restrooms with the little people, the boy and the girl with the triangle. Yeah. So I put one of those on the bathroom door because she's like, where's the bathroom? I go, it's right behind you. She couldn't find it because it was just a white door. Then I got some gold letters, and she has a shared common area bathroom with her roommate. And so I put my mother's name on her door, and I said, what does that say? And she said, Linda. And I said, what does that say on the other woman's door? Carol. So, and then I put her name on her vanity with pictures. And so I checked in yesterday. She was a completely different person. I talked to the woman that worked. I said, how are you? How's my mother doing? She said when she walks into her room, she seems to know where she's going now. And my mother was very settled. So that felt like a huge win. And the girl said to me, she goes, I haven't been here that long. She goes, but to be honest, I don't know why they're not already doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You took away the confusion piece, right? Which is such a big help for them.
That's beautiful. And I checked in with my friend who wants to take me out for drinks, the admissions woman person. Like, we really connected. She's awesome now. But like, she's like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to check. I usually ask, I don't ask for permission. I just apologize. So I went in there and I took control and I did the whole thing. And I'm so glad I did because I'm still waiting to hear back from her. So they can slap me on the wrist if they need to, but she feels settled and she sounded awesome yesterday. I said, how you doing? She goes, I'm doing really well. I feel good. How are you? So that's my win. That's my win, is getting her settled and following my intuition and my gut. So that's my win if I have to name it.
Oh my God, Michelle, that's unbelievably amazing. I don't have a lot of experience working with dementia, but if you guys are okay with it, if I could take 5 minutes and talk about some stuff that I went through over the last couple of weeks.
Please.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys know, and I think some of you watch the recordings, right? I was supposed to be gone for about 3 weeks, biking through Netherlands and then Belgium, And then my father was going to meet me in Belgium and we were going to take the rental car and kind of travel up Belgium, go back to the Netherlands, go back into Germany a little bit, and then fly to Ireland and spend a few days in Ireland. And it was funny because what happened for me, and I'll start this whole conversation by saying, you know, my dad has been the sharpest man alive. Like he's 75 years old, and he is who I could always go to for business questions, for you know, a lot of we'll call it business. So I remember we have an app on our phone called Life 360. And on the Friday, I think it was two Fridays ago, we noticed that his phone had not moved. It was at a certain location in France because he was supposed to be driving around France and meeting me up there in Belgium. And we're like, oh, I just kind of joked with him, sent him a message, just said, hey, Dad, really, this looks like you're really enjoying yourself there in Versailles. Proud of you. You know, are you sleeping on the ground? Or are you sleeping inside the castle? Are they letting you do that? Like, I hope things are okay. No response. No response. No response. And so on Sunday, we get a text from the police. This is the police. We have your father's phone. And we're like, oh, well, that's concerning. But there's also a piece of me that, you know, it's my dad. Like he probably left his phone at an Airbnb and they just turned it in. And that's it. So tried calling them back. No one answered. Wasn't a big deal. The next day, which was the day, and meanwhile, my tour group is like, you know, is your dad okay? I'm like, I hope so. Like, we can't get in touch with him, and we will know one way or the other if he either shows up or doesn't show up to pick me up on the last day. And it now is the last day, and it's an hour before I'm supposed to get picked up. We just biked to our last location. And then we get a text saying, this is the local hospital and you need to contact us immediately. Your dad is here. And as it would turn out for me, and it's so funny because having been in real estate for 20 years, I have worked with a lot of sellers in a lot of different situations, including a lot of dementia, where, you know, we'd work with their kids, right, on trying to take care of the home, making sure things happen, making sure they get the funding that they need, making sure. And as I'm driving down and we're trying to get the full story, and it appears that, you know, there was an episode and we have record of my father. I go to the hospital and it's the absolute worst possible place. Like we have a lot. I'm not here to say that we have the best healthcare system in the world because I don't know if that's true, right? We have a lot of problems here, and I've experienced firsthand, you know, a hospital in France and socialized medicine, and it was no one could tell me even how to get into the hospital. There was no clear signage, and once I was in the hospital, I was in secure areas. I was trying to ask for help. No one was helping me. I'm literally in and out of like surgery rooms. I end up in the morgue. It's really, 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 really bad. And there's beds and people in every single inch of every single hallway of all different sorts. And I have images now. It's like I can't get them out of my head. And I remember just like trying to get to my father, and when I was driving there, thinking to myself, if the doctor says, right, if I'm in the car and I didn't understand where the state was, if the doctor says he needs to stay in this hospital, like, even though he's going to be angry, I will listen to the doctor, right? Doctors are the smart ones. So whatever's wrong with him, if they say he needs more testing, if they say, I'm going to convince him that it's okay to stay in there. As I'm walking through this hospital, I'm realizing I don't give a fuck what's wrong with this man. I got to get him out of here. Like, this is so deplorable. And we finally get down I finally find urgent care. Once the ladies at the front desk stopped flirting with a motorcycle guy, I was able to get access. They just let me into the back unsecured area once again. And they finally walked my father out after another 25 minutes without pants, without shoes. And he's looking at me extremely confused. And all I need to do is get him in that vehicle. Like, I don't care at whatever cost it is. And I finally they discharge him. Finally, I get my car moved around. I have to pay off a security officer. to get my car into the urgent care, and I finally just leave. And as we're leaving, he shares with me, it's really interesting how this happens to us, right? We're human, so we have our bodies, we have our minds. He starts to share with me, he's like, you know, why did you take my luggage? Why did you run that 3-day conference and then, not feed me? Why did you, why did you do all those bad things? Why? And he went into this massive story of something that he truly, truly, truly believed happened. He was having lots of hallucinations, lots of visuals, and he thought that I was the cause of all of it. And it was a really massive hit to me, seeing my father being mortal, seeing my father not just being the sharpest tack in the shed just a week ago, but all of a sudden seeing the weakness and seeing how our mind does play tricks on us, right? And it's not to say that it wasn't actually a bad thing. What we think now happened is that he got there, he's out of a routine. If you're living alone for so many years, you get in your own routines, and like no one even probably saw a decline. If he's out of a routine, like he didn't know even to get water. He didn't know to properly feed himself. So with no one to care for him, we think that he was on day 3 of no water and no food. He checked out of his Airbnb, and then his mind just started completely hallucinating. And he parked his car and got out and just started walking, and they picked him up on the side of a highway. So it's interesting, and I'm really just venting now to you guys, but like to see the mind try to keep the body alive by shrinking. This is what I've learned so far, right? They shrink the neurons, and it causes complete fail of short-term memory, and it causes hallucinations, and it causes visuals. They're doing it in order to keep the body alive. And with all that, little by little, slowly, as we started to, and he, Dad, when's the last time you ate? Even in the hospital, they didn't feed him. They didn't give him any food. They didn't give him an IV. When's the last time you ate? He said, I've been doing really good, Nick. I haven't eaten for over 3 days now. And he said that he thought that it was going to make me appreciate that I was causing him all this hardship, that he was winning the game that I was causing for him. So I share all that to say, and then we ended up, right, the next 3 or 4 days were the hardest, where we tried to backtrack and go back to find out. I was on that app trying to find out where he was, the last time he had the car, the last time he had his luggage, the last time he started to move around, the last text he sent, which was getting really spooky, right? He would just start to send random letters to people, to his hosts. And it was very, very, very spooky. And finally, like, we got him his emergency passport. All of his luggage was gone. His pants were gone. His wallet was gone. His shoes were gone. And we just flew him home. And as he's been home, now that he's home, one can say he's slowly getting better, but it's interesting as to what would happen to all of us, where his confidence is completely shaken now that he knows that his mind made all of it up. Like, imagine living in a world where you don't know what's real or what's not real. And I'm going to take all of that. And, the people that we love, and Michelle's mom, and a lot of us, we're all going to have to go through the situation of caring for our parents. There's no way around it. Whether or not we choose to do that is another option, but we're all going to be in a position where we have to care for our parents, and probably will lose our parents to the other side, or to infinite consciousness. And it's interesting to see how in that space, when we firmly believe, this is leading us into what we talk about here on these Monday calls, where we are right now is the dream, whether you feel it or not. Us being alive here on this planet for 80, 90 years, right? God willing, like, this is the dream. And we only wake up from that dream every so often when we hit certain levels of consciousness, or when we eventually pass on. We wake up. And we go back to where our reality is, our soul, the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. And while we're here, the dreams within the dreams within the dreams. It once again shows that the mind is so powerful. The mind can literally make up things that haven't happened, which means that the mind can't necessarily be trusted. Brings us back to what we talked about 4 weeks ago at this point. Reminders that we are not our minds. We are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are just subconscious programming, and they will fire even to keep your body alive, because your mind is there to try to keep yourself alive, keep you safe. We are not our thoughts. We are not our feelings or our emotions. We're not even our bodies. Right? So then the question is like, well, what are we? We are a divine fucking being sent by source, sent by God, sent by the universe to completely enjoy and embrace life in all of its forms, going through the challenges, going through everything that we need to go through to expand as consciousness, to expand as our own soul. We are perspectives of the whole. And so we are all connected. And so we are all one. And my trip, knowing that I had to come home early, knowing that there's a piece of me that when I did, before I knew how serious Dad was, I'm like, oh, well, we'll just get him back. We'll get him some cold meds and we'll keep the trip going, right? This is the experience. And there's a piece of me that was very disappointed. But there's a piece of me that, you know, when we all lose the people that we love. And it's funny because a lot of you know that, I know specifically a few of you have had some significant loss over the past 3 years. And as we go through and lose people, they're only closer to us when they pass on. Their energy is everywhere. They become infinite consciousness yet again. Anything that you've ever said or not said to them is understood. Every single feeling, every single piece of what they didn't get to perform in this lifetime is made known to them, but there's no guilt and no shame around it because those are all learned emotions. They're not real. The love is the only thing that's real. That's the only energy source that is created and given to everyone. That was an absolutely huge rant that I didn't mean to go on. And yet some of that was channeled. And I just kind of wanted to have you guys feel, thank you for being, so many of you have reached out to me. And I knew this day would come. I've walked my, mother through stage 4 breast cancer before. But one of your parents is like he's never going to die. He's never going to go weak. He's never going to experience something that isn't real. And it's just crazy. And it's funny, that could happen to all of us because we are just flesh, bodies, minds, emotions. Like this is the imperfection. It's perfectly imperfect who we are in every sense of it. Huh. Well, I guess I needed this session more than any of you did. We were going to talk about seasons and what season are you in today and the coming and going. And we're talking about some people are planning again. Some people are still in complete flow. Some people are in complete focus. Some people are in flocus, the balance between. And it's a beautiful fall day outside here in New England. We were going to talk about all that, but instead, thank you all for being there for me. Appreciate that. So it's already 9:31. Let's go into our stage where we raise our vibration yet again to start this amazing, amazing crystal week. All right. Take a deep breath with me if you're still with me. Happy Monday, everybody. Today is another day we get to wake up and experience all that this life has to offer. This dream, this complete lucid dream where you get to wake up and control or feel everything that you get to go through today. You get to have different expansion opportunities. These are the words coming. Expansion opportunities that will approach you today, that will approach you this week, and you get to choose how you look at them and what you do to be with them. You get to choose who you get to show up for today. You get to choose always yourself, remembering our 3 questions of alignment. How can I show up better for me today? Who do I choose to show up for today in a meaningful way? And what is one step I can take today that moves me forward to that which brings me the most excitement or passion in my life? Those questions we get to ask ourselves every single day while we live this beautiful life here on this earth, 13.8 billion years of a miracle of dust and rocks spinning around to have us here, breathing, drinking, and having this consciousness that is absolutely all made of love and all connected to every single other consciousness that exists. All that is all that is. And we appreciate every single moment that we get here. We get to choose the feelings that we have. We get to choose whether or not we experience the feelings that come up. We get to choose what neuron thought patterns our brain goes to today. And when they go to something that displeases us, we get to meet that with love. I see you. I choose this today. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Enjoy this week. Make sure you take root. Root's coming. Make sure you take root of all of who you are. Make sure you get to dance, float around, and be whoever you want to be in this week. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we'll see you guys next week where we'll have a topic that won't just be all about me venting. I promise. And a couple of quick announcements. You guys will see this week. We sent it out to the WhatsApp group. We will have a soul purpose workshop November 8th and 9th. It's a Friday, Saturday, 12 to 5 on Friday, and then 9 to 2 on Saturday. It makes it so you still have your weekend. For those looking for clarity, purpose, and doing what it is they are meant to do in this life, really, really, really excited about that workshop. And for those of you in our Earth Retreats groups, I did send out an email with some open dates in case you're interested in one of those. Otherwise, see you next Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I love you all so much. Thanks for showing up for yourselves.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
Thank you.
Michelle. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Dickens. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Mariana. Yay.